Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2026 Annual General and Special Meeting of Shareholders of Standard Lithium Ltd. Please note that the meeting is being recorded. I would like to introduce David Park, the CEO of the company. Mr. Park, the floor is yours.
Good morning and welcome to the Annual General and Special Meeting of the Shareholders of Standard Lithium. My name is David Park and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the company. We're hosting this year's meeting virtually via live webcast. Registered and duly appointed proxy holders of the company entitled to vote may attend and vote at the meeting through the virtual webcast. This past year has been highlighted by significant achievements and milestones reached for Standard Lithium. We made substantial progress in advancing and de-risking our world-class lithium projects, including our Southwest Arkansas project, as well as our East Texas properties. We continue to work closely with our joint venture partner while strengthening relationships with potential customers and industry leaders. We remain excited about the pathway ahead for our company. Due to personal circumstances, Robert Cross, the Chair of the Board of Directors of Standard Lithium, is not able to attend and preside over the meeting. As such, and in accordance with Standard Lithium's bylaws, I will preside as chairperson of the meeting in Mr. Cross's absence. Before we get started, as this is a virtual meeting, it's necessary to set out a few rules for the orderly conduct of the meeting. Only registered shareholders or duly appointed proxy holders are entitled to ask questions and securely vote at the meeting in real time. Only shareholders of record at the close of business on May 20th, 2026 are entitled to vote through the virtual webcast. Voting on all matters will be conducted by electronic poll, and registered shareholders or duly appointed proxy holders who properly logged in with their control number and wish to vote can click the voting button on the left side of the webcast. In the interest of time, we now open the poll to vote on the matters before this meeting. You'll be asked to vote for, withhold, or against, as applicable, the matters before this meeting. If you have already voted by proxy, it's important that you do not vote again here at the meeting unless you intend to change your initial vote. You may choose to vote on the resolutions immediately or wait until the conclusion of the discussions prior to casting your vote. We will provide enough warning for everyone to cast their vote prior to closing the polls. Questions in respect to a motion can be submitted by registered shareholders and duly appointed proxy holders by using the Ask a Question button on the virtual interface. When asking a question, please indicate your name, which entity you represent, if any, and confirm whether you are a registered shareholder or a duly appointed proxy holder. The meeting will now come to order. I will ask Natasha Blanich of Castles Brock in Blackwell, corporate counsel to the company, to act as the secretary of this meeting. I will ask that Jennifer Villarreal of TSX Trust Company, registrar and transfer agent of the company, act as the scrutineer of the meeting. I've been advised that as the company used the notice and access procedure to deliver the meeting materials for this meeting, the notice and access notification, together with the form of the proxy, were mailed to all shareholders of record at the close of business on June 12, 2026, and the meeting materials were posted on the company's website on May 20th, 2026. TSX Trust Company has provided proof of service of such mailing, and I direct that a copy of such proof of service be annexed to the minutes of this meeting as a schedule. The scrutineer has advised me that prior to the meeting, proxies were received from the holders of a sufficient number of common shares to constitute a quorum. I direct that the final formal report of the scrutineer be annexed to the minutes of this meeting as a schedule. I declare the meeting validly called and properly constituted for the transaction of business. In the interest of expediting the business of this meeting and in accordance with the corporate statute and the bylaws of the company, I will move all motions with respect to the business for which this meeting has been called, as set out in the notice of Annual General and Special Meeting, and no motion need to be seconded. I now present to the meeting the audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended December 31st, 2025, together with a report of the auditor thereon. Copies of such documents have been mailed to the shareholders who have requested them, and it is not proposed to read them here at the meeting. The company auditor is PricewaterhouseCoopers, Chartered Professional Accountants. I now move that PwC be reappointed as the auditor of the company to hold the office until the close of the next annual general meeting of shareholders at a remuneration to be fixed by the board of directors of the company. I now move that the number of directors of the company be set to 9 for the ensuing year. The company's bylaws provide a process requiring advance notice to the company in respect to any person seeking to be nominated for the election at today's meeting. The company did not receive notice of any director nominations in connection with the meeting within the prescribed time periods. Accordingly, the only persons eligible to be nominated at the meeting for election to the board of directors of the company are the 9 individuals nominated by management as set out in the company management information circular, each to hold office until the next annual general meeting of shareholders or until his or her successor is duly elected, unless his or her office is earlier vacated, in accordance with the bylaws of the company. The management nominees are Robert Cross, Dr. Andrew Robinson, David Park, Jeffrey Barber, Dr. Volker Burl, Claudio D'Orazio, Anka Rasu, Paul Collins, Karen Narwhal. I now move for the nomination of each of these 9 persons nominated by management as directors of the company. I now move for the adoption of the full text of the shareholder resolution set out on page 29 of the Management Information Circular, reapproving the company's option plan. I now move for the adoption of the full text of the shareholder resolution set out on page 32 of the Management Information Circular, reapproving the company's incentive plan. As mentioned earlier, voting today will be conducted by electronic polls. Polls are open, and registered shareholders and duly appointed proxy holders who have properly logged in with their control number and wish to vote will be able to see on the screen the motions being brought forth at this meeting. Please register your votes now if you have not already done so. We'll provide approximately one more minute to complete the electronic polls. Once the electronic polls close, the voting button will disappear and your votes will automatically be submitted. The polls are now closed. I've been advised by the scrutineer that based on the ballots and proxies deposited for the meeting and the preliminary results of the electronic voting, each motion put forward at the meeting has been voted in favor, and thus I declare each motion carried. I declare that the formal business of this meeting is now terminated. I would ask the scrutineer to compile the report regarding the voting results on all business matters, and I direct that the results be included in the minutes of this meeting. I thank you for attending the meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's meeting. You may now disconnect.